Okay, let's see what we have in the fridge here. Oh, all right. Looks like I have a little bit of Chris James left here. Oh, we got some Gunner TV. Yummy. I'm gonna put that one in my pocket. I think this is it's a Gabby Bell. Yum. Oh wait, two more. We got a Anna Marie Forcino and Chad combo pack. Wow. Wow. What if all six of us got up on a stage and we had some drinks and we played some games and we yapped and talked to you guys for like a couple hours? Well, that's what you can see January 18th at the Bell House in Brooklyn, New York. Buy your tickets now and don't ask any more questions.
Christmas at the Amish Bakery. Real movie. I could not find it within myself to care about any other holiday-related media this year until I got to the bottom of this. What will happen during Christmas at the Amish Bakery? It's a question that's been plaguing my mind for an entire year now, as I actually discovered this film during the research process for last year's holiday video. Sure, I could have taken a look at Netflix's low-hanging holiday fruit of the year like The Merry Gentleman or Hot Frosty, but how am I supposed to give a single shit about those films when Christmas at the Amish Bakery exists? It wasn't even up for debate. The moment I saw the title of this film for the first time, I knew that no matter what it was, no matter how long it took me to get through it, I was going to watch it. What a mistake. It is a 100% fictional love story that flows like a nonfiction story, popcorn read in a middle school classroom by the cast of your 7th grade production of Beauty and the Beast. It also might be Amish propaganda. Why do this then, you may wonder? Why put yourself through this at the happiest time of the year? I don't know.
Yuletide in with you.
Morning, Sarah.
You pulling double shifts again?
Yeah.
You need this more than I do.
You are a coffee angel.
I prefer caffeine queen.
Oh God, no. Oh my God. I think I'm having a panic attack. By the way, just since we're never gonna see him again, spoiler, this is Officer Are You Gonna? That is the best joke in the entire film. This is Sarah, and she just received a handwritten letter from her sister Rachel, who just had a baby. Looks like we got a little bit of Amish booger wipe in the corner, so thank you, Rachel. If all you had for context was the title of the movie and Sarah's occupation, which you find out instantly, you could probably guess most of what happens in this movie. Sarah is an editor at a failing cookbook publishing company that desperately needs to push just one more book to stay afloat. Gun to your head, you can't tell me you haven't seen this plot play out 10 trillion times. I mean, the writers are just playing Mad Libs at this point.
Figure this out. I'm begging you. What's that?
It's a card from my family.
You never mentioned your family was Amish.
When has anyone ever whispered that? Are they gonna do one of those things where they try to convince us that the Amish are like an extremely oppressed group? Like, am I meant to believe that that's a slur? Well, Sarah's boss basically wants her to go home and exploit her family for money, i.e. make an Amish cookbook. And she does that shit, 100%. Look at her cooking it down the highway seconds later in her white 2024 Ford Edge ST line. She's gonna pull up like the Amish Tony Stark. Oh, also, don't you get shunned when you leave the Amish? Like, I just thought about that.
Don't you want it for Christmas? I can tell there is
Oh no way. All right, folks, there it is. We've met our two romantic leads. What do you think? Personally, I'm soaking. This guy is Amish Tony Stark. This guy looks like Rami Malek if you sucked out all the Autistic Boy swag and replaced it with cream of wheat. By the way, cream of wheat, for anyone who doesn't know, is like the boring version of oatmeal. I found out the hard way as a kid, but I mean, they put fucking SpongeBob on the box. How was I not supposed to add it to the cart? What I'm trying to say is, the idea of making oatmeal more boring than it already is fills me with nothing but devastating fascination. A feeling that I have only experienced while watching this film. This guy is like the gatekeeper for the community. He describes himself as a friend of the Amish. So to that I say, who do you know here? Because I haven't seen you at the feed store a single time.
Sarah, you're home. I thought it was about time I come and met my niece. This is Hannah. Hannah.
Like mom.
After Mom.
Fuck! This is obviously her sister Rachel, and I'll just cut to the chase on this one. Heebie-jeebies. Not as much as her dad, though. Half of this guy's dialogue is just him grunting and staring.
Hey, Dad. It's been a while.
What's important to remember is that Sarah is showing up completely unannounced. That note didn't say, come visit. It said, we think about you sometimes. I'm still not confident that there's a type of Amish that allows this kind of debauchery, but nonetheless, here Sarah is asking to stay with her family for an entire week. This is followed by an Amish suit up sequence, which I can confidently say is the first of its kind. So if you thought I was crazy for calling her the Amish Tony Stark, I bet you feel pretty bad now. I wish I could do something to help.
Who is that? Dean Erickson. Dad's Englishman friend I told you about in my letters? I guess when you said widower, I pictured someone older.
Holy fuck, I'm bored. It's almost making me forget the entire reason Sarah came here. Money. One of the first things she asks about is where they keep their recipes written down, which immediately backfires.
Where are all the recipes? We had a kitchen fire a few years ago. Lost them all.
Whoops. Luckily though, Rachel has all the recipes memorized, including one very special recipe that I think you'll all know very well.
You didn't mention that in any of your letters. Here, let me tell you about the good things.
Come on guys, let's be adults here, okay? It's sourdough starter. It's actually a 60-year-old family heirloom cum jar. God damn it. This is actually a little something the Amish call friendship bread. It's kind of like a sweeter version of sourdough. I actually got the chance to try it at a farmer's market one time. That shit's gas. As most films that fail the Bechdel test do, the conversation quickly switches back to the topic of men. But it's this conversation in particular that raises the first propaganda red flag, if you will.
Honestly, it's not even the men's fault. I realize that I have impossible standards. Such as? I want a man who works hard, but isn't a workaholic, for one. Someone who could get through dinner without checking their cell phone. Someone who wants to go on walks with me and read. Just, enjoy being in each other's company.
You know you just described an Amish man.
Yeah, or just like a really chill guy. Like, what do Amish guys even know about phones at the table? They just win that one by default. I'll tell you what though, you sit one of them down at the table with an iPhone, a Chipotle bowl, and YouTube Shorts, he'll never touch a horse again. Additionally, I'm not prepared to take relationship advice from Rachel because her husband is lame.
Deliveries are done. Hi, Sarah. Nice to see you.
It is nice to see you too. I met your daughter. She's really something.
Wait until you hear her howling at midnight. Can I talk to you for a second?
Sure.
I have one very interesting theory about this film. I believe that if you were to go back through and rescore some of the scenes, you could turn this movie into a horror movie. Watch this.
Hi, Sarah. Nice to see you.
It is nice to see you too. I met your daughter. She's really something.
Wait until you hear her howling at midnight. Can I talk to you for a second?
Sure.
Well, what he actually pulls her aside to tell her is that the bakery is going out of business, and then he's just like, okay, bye. It's funny, this actually directly contradicts information that Sarah shares at the beginning of the film.
Yeah, Rachel owns a very successful bakery in Kentucky.
So I guess Rachel's just been lying? What if she lit the fire? Dean has this daughter, Zoe, who conveniently reveals to Sarah that Dean is the illustrator of a highly popular children's book series. Wait a minute, no way! Sarah is an editor! Do you think they'll find this out about each other? Grab the cum jar. In the next scene, Sarah brings Dean a hot coffee on a cold winter's day. What is that, cotton? It's the first time we get to see them have a normal and intentional conversation, and it's horrendous. I mean, watching these two share a scene is like chewing hot glue.
You're an illustrator, right? I met Zoe. She's quite the artist and has a very bright future as an interrogator.
Sorry, she's all about the questions these days.
It's a tough watch, but we do get a little bit of clarification on the family lore. Sarah decided to leave the faith after Rumspringa, which is an opportunity Amish kids are given when they turn 16 to experience the outside world. At the end, you basically have the choice between staying and getting baptized or leaving, and obviously Sarah left. So, you know, if the plot armor fits, wear it. Folks, I'm about to do something you've never seen in your life. I'm about to fight ads with an ad. From Pi, the sponsor of today's video. Folks, what do we want in 2025? We want more money, and we want a new ad blocker. Well, guys, those two things are exactly what Pi does. Pi is an ad blocker that allows you to opt into selected ads in exchange for generous cashback rewards. I can't stop laughing. I'm like Joker. All right, guys, peep this. Check this out. You see this little promo here on Reddit? Look, I'm gonna hover over this. You are receiving rewards for seeing this ad. Oh, what? No way. I want to show you how it works real quick. Specifically with this mode called visual mode, you can literally load a page and watch the ads get destroyed in real time. It's awesome. Also, check out the Pi shopping extension for automatic coupons and cashback rewards. More cashback rewards. Actually really cool. I like that. Folks, I can't talk up Pi enough. It's sleek, it's new, it's cool, it's comfortable, and it allows you to block ads on here. Folks, it's so simple. All you gotta do is go to pi.org/AndyKing, install that ad blocker, pop it in the toolbar, and you're gonna, you're gonna make money, and you're gonna not see ads unless you want to. Thanks, Pi.
I just really like it here. The pace, the quiet.
It's really special. Especially if you're coming in from the outside. It's like all of the
Noise stops.
Dean reveals to Sarah that he's been spending the past year trying to convince her father and the other leaders to open up the community to the public, and he wants her to help him. So really what we have here now is two outsiders infiltrating an Amish community. One of them wants to help the community. The other is actively committing espionage. And as usual, our girl gets to work immediately, pressuring her family to bend to her will mere hours into her stay that no one asked for. Look, she peer pressures her dad so hard that he starts grunting again.
We asked the other families to participate. They can sell their goods. It could be a true community event.
Also, that thing about asking other families to participate, she's lying. I promise I have skipped over very few moments in this film so far, and that did not happen. It seems like that was rather easy. So what has Dean been doing for the past year?
I've been working that angle for over a year with no luck.
Does he just like start peeing every time he approaches Sarah's dad? Or does he just stand around all day and hammer nails? This is the second time we've seen this specific activity. Sarah, being the conniving fool that she is, seizes this opportunity to build a selection for the farmer's market. So her and Rachel hunker down in the bakery to brainstorm.
Our cherry pie is always a hit.
Is that vinegar?
It's the secret ingredient.
Vinegar and cherry pie.
Hey, what the fuck are you doing? You know, to be fair, Rachel kind of baited the fuck out of her with that. You guys saw that acting choice. Don't write this down.
It's the secret ingredient.
To create a diversion, Sarah's like, I'm hungry. Guys, I wish I was making this up. So Rachel calms her down with some friendship bread, which makes Sarah think, hold on a second. This too could be an asset. So it looks like they're gonna be selling sourdough starter kits. That's fun. Let's get to the next scene. Sarah offers to make this quilt delivery to a local shop, and everyone's sort of hesitant about it, which confused me at first, But then it hit me. If I spent weeks single-handedly crafting a quilt in candlelight, no phone, no McDonald's, I would also feel a bit odd watching them disappear behind the trunk door of a Ford SUV. They also throw in this really weird moment right before Sarah leaves where Rachel is like afraid that she's never gonna come back.
Drive carefully.
Okay, back soon. I will be back. I promise.
And I know we've discussed that she probably doesn't have the greatest morals, but like, why would she do that? Even from a malicious standpoint, that wouldn't serve Sarah in any way. She's written down like 2 recipes. Well, apparently everyone thinks she's leaving forever, including Dean, who painfully flirts with her before she takes off.
I promised to help Abram with the nativity scene.
Your skills are in high demand.
Haha. Just be safe.
Will do.
Ew. Actually, this little bit right here also has perfect horror movie potential. Look.
Your skills are in high demand.
Haha. Just be safe.
Will do.
It's sort of funny that that entire scene is about her potentially not coming back, because the scene directly after it cuts to her getting out of the car as if she never left. She pulls up on Dean's daughter, who's making a hay man on account of the lack of snow, which is pretty depressing, so let's see what they get to yapping about.
Would you like some help?
You don't need to pray with the others?
I give thanks in my own way.
I haven't gone to church since my mom died.
Oh, okay, I gotta go. They spend the next section of the film trying to convince us that these 3 could become a family by having them bond over yet another milky, creamy substance that Sarah calls snow cream.
Snow cream can be one of 2 distinct desserts. A dessert consisting of whipped cream with added flavorings, or a dessert in which snow is mixed with a sweetened dairy-based liquid to make an ice cream substitute.
Okay, should be ready to try.
This is the best ice cream I've ever tasted.
Cat! I'm done with the lies in this movie, man. She barely took a second to process that. Drink the whole bowl if you're real. This is the best ice cream I've ever tasted! Ha! What did you guys think of my link noise? This next part here has got to be my favorite part of the movie. Dean finally reveals the tragic backstory behind his wife's death, but he does it in extreme detail, and it's wildly depressing. We learn that they actually worked together on the children's book series. However, towards the end, it began to consume every waking moment of their life. His words.
We were on a call with our publicist. I was distracted. Anna and I were disagreeing over our social media marketing strategy. Zoe was in the back seat trying to get our attention over a deer that she saw on the side of the road. The deer decided to cross. Next thing I know, the car hit a tree.
Fuck. Sorry. Well, apparently, Sarah's dad was there at the scene of the crash where he managed to heroically save the entire family. Except for Mommy. So Dean basically feels like he owes these people his life. He is bound here by nothing other than a fear of God. But let's not forget why Sarah is here. Money. We now find out that she's been ghosting her boss, coworker. I don't really know. They're both worried about getting fired. I don't think it matters. So I don't really know what her motive is at this point. But it's clear that she is an all-around shifty character that cannot be trusted, because she spends the next scene. I'd like this to be on record for later in the video, by the way. Thank you. In the next scene, Sarah directly pitches the idea of publishing a cookbook with her company.
What if you were to publish your baking recipes? Crane Publishing is looking for some new cookbook ideas for the new year, and
You know, we don't like the idea of partnering with big corporations.
Rachel's reasoning, which is completely valid, forces Sarah to come up with a new solution. Publishing the cookbook independently, the old-fashioned way, on the farm. Okay, stop recording. Thank you again. So this is the plan. Full change of heart. We are independently producing a cookbook, and we will continue to ghost our boss. But there's still one thing missing.
Hi, Sarah. Bye, Sarah.
Well, someone's excited to get to rehearsal.
She had 3 candy canes this morning before I woke up.
Yes, of course, we need an illustrator, and who better for the job than the guy whose last project ended in painful, life-ruining trauma? By the way, we still haven't talked about the overwhelmingly upsetting fact that they were arguing about social media when Dean's wife died. You think that was another little Amish jab, like, hey, that damn phone. Anyway, this recruitment scene here, honestly, it feels like every single line was a different take. You gotta see it for yourself.
There's something I would like your help with.
As long as it doesn't require handyman skills, you got it.
I have a feeling this one is more in your wheelhouse.
You have my attention.
I'd like to hire you to illustrate an Amish cookbook.
Oh my god, it looks like he's shitting himself. There's this weird scene a few minutes later where Dean and Rachel's husband Abram are in the barn together. Oh my god, hammer and nails, 3rd time's a charm, baby. Abram's like, she won't stop crying when I hold her. She doesn't like me. And then Dean's like, watch this. Once Abram finally gets the hang of it though, he's like,
It's working. How did you know how to do this?
dumbass question, you ruined it. You know he has a daughter. You know. Yeah, well then he's like, oh, Eepy, can you watch her? What the fuck? Yeah, I'm starting to believe I was wrong about the propaganda element because that is a bad look for Amish fathers. Tell me about your Amish father in the comments. I genuinely can't wait to read these. A lot of the prep for the big visitor day and the cookbook happens in the background while the film aggressively tries to push Dean and Sarah as a couple.
Wow. Dean, these are fantastic.
Yeah?
They're so realistic, and they totally capture the warmth we're going for.
I'm glad you like them.
I love them.
She goes over to his house at one point to hang out with him and Zoe, and after dinner, they have a conversation about Dean's aspirations. But while complaining about all of the things that he doesn't want to do, he manages to make this crazy out-of-pocket comment about his wife's death that they laugh about.
I think I'd be happiest freelancing. I don't want to fall into another series with deadlines and the pressures of marketing. I'm horrible on social media.
And then they admit their feelings for each other. How cute. Here's what I've learned from this scene. I don't think Dean liked his wife very much. I'd even go as far as saying that this film is doing everything it can to find Dean a new wife. You know who wants him to smash really badly? Rachel. She's been Pavloving Sarah every chance she gets. Earlier, there was a moment where Sarah was holding the baby and Rachel hit her with a little,
You're a natural.
and now in this scene where they're putting the finishing touches on things for the farmer's market, she just straight up asks her about sex.
Well,
What?
how was dinner last night?
It was really nice. Dean wasn't kidding. He is a very good cook. And your cherry pie, it was a hit.
I wasn't asking about the food.
What really happened last night? I guess we'll never know. But now that we're finishing up our final bakery scene in the film, I have to ask one very important question. Why was her hair never pulled back in the bakery? Not a single scene in this film has shown her with her hair pulled back while handling food. It's not even a religious thing. It's just a standard kitchen practice. And I know some of you were waiting for me to mention it, so there you go. And if you weren't, can you just pretend that you were? Holy shit, look at this. 3 separate shots of guys hammering things. Have you guys seen those videos of Amish men lifting entire barns and just moving them somewhere else? It's actually like the most impressive thing. Put that in the background of a shot. That's what you need to show.
Special delivery.
The cookbooks are here? I didn't think they'd be done so soon.
Mr. Lapp said Dean paid for a rush order to have them here today.
Thank you, Sarah. We now have our recipes back to pass down to future generations.
Okay, so you're probably wondering, why does she look guilty right now. She should be happy that her family's independently produced cookbook is now ready to be sold independently. Well, after the farmer's market is a huge success and they're wrapping things up for the night, Sarah's boss pulls up on her out of the blue, probably on account of the fact that she's been ghosting her. This is the big moment of the film where Sarah finally tells her off and refuses to publish with the company. However, it becomes extremely confusing when her family and friends respond negatively.
I admit, I came here initially to talk to my family about doing a book with Crane Publishing, but that changed. I mean, everything changed.
You grew a conscience, you mean?
Tough. Okay, we need to rewind to that part we clipped earlier in the bakery. Yep, right there. Thank you. Sarah is not lying to Dean here. She fully communicated the publishing company thing to Rachel and changed her mind as soon as Rachel was opposed to the idea. So we can only infer that Rachel just didn't tell anyone about the details of the conversation. Nor did Sarah, basing this entire conflict purely on miscommunication. Not to mention, this is the climatic conflict of the film, and there's only 12 minutes left. How are you supposed to wrap this up? Well, folks, an illogical conflict can only be followed by an even more idiotic resolution. And before I get to that, I want to point out a very short scene where Sarah is sitting depressingly in her home in front of the TV, and whatever she's watching, it's AI. It's just AI. Listen.
And that's a promise I intend to keep. I will always make it home for Christmas.
But yeah, pretty much what happens is every single character wakes up the next morning and decides to not only forgive her immediately, but also let her know that they knew all along
that I wasn't honest.
Yeah, well, I knew why you come here.
She decides to leave despite making amends, which seems like the responsible thing to do after unintentionally devastating an entire Amish community. But Dean's like, yeah, I'm definitely not mad anymore. So he takes a 12-hour round-trip drive to pick up Sarah and bring her back to the farm the next day. I don't know what the goal of this movie was, nor do I have any idea of what's going to happen to these characters next, so I just say we close it there. Forever. I do love a good boring movie though. You know, the more boring ones force you to pay attention to the lazy bullshit that's happening in the background. And I think that's special. It's a nice writing exercise, you know? Folks, whatever you celebrate, I hope you have a very happy holiday and love each other a lot. But for my holiday, I'm gonna be taking a little bit of time off until the live show in January. You may get 1 or 2 videos in the meantime, but I'll be gone for about a month or so, just to recoup. End of the year. Relax. Oh yeah, don't forget to like and comment and subscribe. Okay, that's all I have for you this time. But until next time, let's see if I can actually hold myself to like really taking this break and not upload it all. We'll see. Happy holidays, folks.